What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Shop Talk Tuesday. So, in today's episode, we are going to talk about forges. We are going to talk about what I've seen so many people lately conversate about in different forums and websites and stuff like that, and that is things like the Hell's Forge and the Devil's Forge and why you should or should not have one of those. Okay? So, when it boils down to it, do I think that you should buy something like a Hell's Forge or Devil's Forge or, you know, one of those things that you would get off of Amazon or something like that? Do I think you should buy one of those if you want to be a knife maker? Nope. Is it one of the easiest ways to get a forge? Yes, it is. Because you can get one of those for like $100 or maybe $150 depending on where you're at, or if you live in like Australia, probably like $500. But I think that people, whenever they instantly want to get into knife making, they start Googling things like, you know, belt grinders and forges and anvils and all those things, and they're trying to figure out the least expensive way to get into this hobby, and they kind of are drawn to those forges because it's ready to go. All you got to do is hook up propane to it, boom, you got a forge, you're forging, heat treating, doing all those things, and there is an appeal to that because it's so simple. But a lot of people don't realize that it's not as simple as you think. Because whenever you get forges like that, you've got to actually coat those forges. It's not just a plug and play. Those come with the KO wool just raw on there. You got to coat those, you got to do the rigidizer, you got to do so many different things to make those to where you can actually use them, because if you just start blasting away with just treated KO wool, you are going to hurt your lungs and it is going to be horrible. So it's not as just get a forge, hook up propane, start making a knife. That's not the process. There's things that you got to do to use those forges, and that is not even one of the biggest, what I think of as issues with those forges. What I think is a pretty big issue is the fact that a lot of people get those forges and all they're trying to do is just make little knives. And whenever you see those forges, a lot of the time the internal chambers are massive. You know, they are huge chambers and they're unnecessary for knife making. It's just such a big area to be using to heat up. You're going to be wasting so much propane, it's going to be unreal. And a lot of them are completely open, so there's no back or front, and you got to figure out how to close off the back and front. So you're going to have to get fire bricks or whatever to do that, because if you're just using one of those forges, just open back and front, again, you're going to be using so much propane to maintain a nice heat in there that it's not going to save you money. You're going to feel like it's saving you money, but whenever you go and you get propane after propane after propane after propane refill, you're going to hate it because you've spent so much money fueling one of those forges. Okay? Now, there are tons of videos out there on how to make your own forge. Not everybody's going to do that. Not everybody's going to just go out and make their own forge, but there are tons of videos that you can use to make a forge and it not be that expensive. Heck, you can build your own forge for $100. I mean, I'm going to leave links in the description for this video for where I get my fire bricks. And there are plenty of people that have made videos on like 2-brick forges and little small ones. If you go check it out, Redbeard Ops, he made this cool little forge and little burner that went with it and everything. Y'all should check out his video. If I could find the video, I'll leave a link for that in the description below as well, so you can go check that out. He has got an awesome little forge that you can make that really wouldn't cost that much. And some of the forges that you're going to see whenever you go and you start looking up YouTube, they have metal frames around them. If you've seen my forges, you'll see that there's no real metal frames around those. I use fireplace mortar. That's just like a caulking tube like this right here, and that is what I use to connect all my bricks together to keep them from shifting. And I have made tons of knives with the forges that I make, and they are very inexpensive to replace the whole forge. Like I said, I'm going to leave links for the fire bricks that I use in the description, and it is just real simple stuff. And I'll actually leave a link for the video that I learned how to make my burner off of as well. So if you want to go check out and learn how to make your own burner with just stuff that you can get from Lowe's or Home Depot, and then gather the bricks to be able to make the forge, you can do that. I've got a video again. I'm going to leave the link for it in the description below. So if you want to see how I made the forge that I primarily use, which is the forge that I'm rebuilding right now, and I just made another small forge for forge welding. Sorry, ADD. Now, I just wanted to make sure that y'all understand that whenever you're getting into this hobby, that it's so easy to get sucked into the Amazon and so easy to get sucked into the Google and just trying to figure out the cheapest way to do this, when most of y'all are makers. Most of y'all are people who can make your own thing. You know, at least until you decide to buy like a, you know, a real forge, if you're going to go that route where something is made for you and you're going to purchase it. If you want to do those things, just wait until you can buy like an actual thing. I probably will never purchase anything like that because I already know that I can make a forge for super cheap, and it's really effective, and it does everything that I want it to do. And right now I have 2 forges in the other shop, which y'all will see in a video that's coming up. But I want y'all to understand that there are other ways to go about doing the forge, and you don't have to just go straight into one of those forges when you can just make your own and it be exactly how you want it. And you learn from the process. You learn how big of an internal chamber you need, how to adjust things so that you can put blocks on the end and shift things, and how much length you actually need, because you want to make choppers, or you just make little simple knives and you don't need a huge one. You know, what size propane tanks you should buy, how you're going to run everything so that, you know, your burner sits right. There are all kinds of different things that you learn in the process of making them yourself that you don't get whenever you go out and you just buy it. It's the same thing for the belt grinder. You know, I started with the 1x30, then I made my own 2x42, then I bought a 2x70 or a 2x72. So I said 2x42, 2x48. It's you want to try and make the things that you can make so that you learn how they work, so that if you need to maintain it, you can do that. So I'm going to recap on everything that I just said right there, because that was a lot of stuff. Should you buy one of the Amazon forges? If that's all you have access to, yes. But watch videos on tips and tricks or modifications to said forges, because you're going to have videos out there that'll show you what they did to modify their versions of that forge to make it more efficient. So make sure you go and check those out too. Don't just buy it, waste a whole ton of propane, and then figure out that you got to change something and then go watch the videos. Watch them first. Also, you could just make your own forge because it's cheaper and it's built to how you wanted it to be built. Go that route. Yes. That's what all that was for. Guys, it's just trying to think through what you can do. And a lot of people might think that the fire bricks are super expensive. Whenever you click on that link, which of course is not affiliate link, none of the links that you're going to click on are affiliate links. If once you go and click on that and you see how cheap the bricks are per brick, you're going to go, what? So my little small forge that I'm going to be doing just for forge welding, for the bricks, for shipping and handling, all of that, just to build that little small one that I'm working on right now, is like 68 bucks after taxes, after shipping, everything. And it's going to be here in 2 days, the bricks. I spent $100 on like 12 of them to rebuild my larger forge. So yeah, and the burner is just pipe fittings from Lowe's. You get it pretty inexpensive setup. So yeah, that is the end of that little topic. I want y'all to go down the comment section. I want y'all to discuss everything that I just said, what you suggest, how you built your forge. What forge did you buy that worked out best for you? I want all of that stuff in the comment section below so that everybody can learn from it. So, there you go. Go down there. Do that stuff. Now, what do we have working right now? What's the things that Eric's working on? Working on a couple of things. So for one, I'm working on this little guy right here. Another little EDC. But this is a Gomai. It's not a Gomai. It's a Sandmai. I wish it was a Gomai. It's a Sandmai. So this is a little bit different than what most people do Sandmai wise. Yes. I did kind of the reverse of what a lot of people do whenever they're making Sandmai. And you'll see what I mean by that whenever you watch the video on Friday. This right here is just going to be a cool little EDC. It's not a very big billet. I didn't want it to be. I've got a particular specific size that I wanted this. So, yes. But this is going to be cool. I think y'all are going to like the overall process of like what I'm doing here whenever y'all see it. So, yeah. Make sure y'all check that out on Friday. So, Sandmai. I've got another little guy that I've been messing with right here. This is just like a little paring knife or just a little small knife that I forged out of a piece of 80 CRV2 that was this size. Now the difference between it and this one, this is 3/16. The thing that I used to forge this was a 1/4 inch thick, and I actually cut off the end that I was using to hold the whole entire time. But this is just a real simple little knife. Everything's forged into place, so it's actually got forged, you can barely see it, but forged full bevels in there with plunge lines and everything. It's super straight. It's got a nice little taper all the way to the tip. But yeah, that was forged from something like this right here. So I just wanted to take one of my little pieces of scrap and actually turn it into a knife. So we did that just in between working on one of my other knives. So we've got that, and I've got my stack ready for the Gomai. It is this set right here. So we are going to be working on that now that we've got our forge welding temps correct, which was absolutely the issue because this is a just amazingly solid billet right here. And getting it up to that bright glowing yellow, that was the key. I needed the smaller forge to be able to do that. We successfully were able to do that, and I worked on it today and we got to this point, so nice. Now let's talk about the viewer's knife. So for the viewer's knife on this one, I actually pulled this off of his Instagram. He sent me a couple of pictures and was saying that he'd like to be on the Shop Talk Tuesday. So the pictures that he had sent had just like disappeared once I guess I clicked on them. So I went through his Instagram and I just looked at a few of his projects that he's working on, and I actually picked out the one that I liked a lot. So that's what y'all are going to see today, and hopefully he can chime in the comment section below to talk about him a little bit. But let's go ahead, let's cut away, and let's talk about his knives now. So we've got a knife here by Matt Hillman, and I'm going to leave a link for his Instagram in the description below, so go check that out. Now, this knife, really like the etch and everything that he did on here, and I like the handle scales. I've used these handle scales in the past, and I plan on using them in the future as well. So with the etch on this, he said he started with a coffee etch and then went to an acid etch and then went to a mustard etch and then acid etch. So I really like the pattern that is on the blade, and I think that this turned out really nice, and he's got a good sheath that he made on here. I really like the overall profile and package that he's got here, so good job there. So Matt, absolutely awesome. I really like everything that you did on that knife. I like the pattern that was on it. I like the profile, everything. And like I said, I've had and used the handle material like what you have on that knife, and I'm pretty sure that this one right here is the exact same as that, which will be going on a knife that's coming up here pretty soon. I like this material. I used to use diamond wood, which is this right here. Comes in huge blocks. It's typically used by pin makers, and y'all see me use that on a bunch of different knives. I tend to use that on the rivelettes whenever I'm making those. Now, again, I think that was an awesome job on that. Guys, tell Matt what y'all thought about his knife in the comment section below, and hopefully he can chime in and you know, give a little bit more description about that build. Now guys, if you haven't sent me any pictures of your knives, you should definitely do that. You can do it either in the email that I have in the description. You can send them through the Facebook page. You can send them to me directly on Facebook. You can send them on Instagram. You've got all kinds of different ways that you can actually send me pictures. Do it. I like seeing them, and I like being able to show them off. Guys, there you go. Now, thank y'all for coming by. If y'all would, give this video a thumbs up, share this video or one of my other videos. Now, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you get notified of the stuff that we have that's coming up. And guys, thank y'all again for coming by. Thank y'all for spending your time with me. Y'all have an amazing day. Y'all stay safe out there. I'll catch y'all next time.